Okay.
Okay, so we are live on YouTube. Hey, YouTube people. Hey,
Hey y'all.
family. We are on IG and YouTube at the same time. So, yeah, trying to get all of these cameras together.
Definitely so.
All right, so sis, did you want to say what the topic is going to be?
Yeah, y'all. So once again, like my sister Angela said, thank you guys for joining us. This topic on tonight will be about basically, can women work and find love? The difference between a working woman and a woman with a career versus a woman who is a career woman. And so we're going to be getting some male input on tonight. I know I have my own opinion about this, and so I'm kind of excited to talk about this, especially because some men have been sending me some content as of recently about their views on the dynamic. So it'll be interesting to hear from him tonight. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to hear. I think it's always interesting to hear from multiple perspectives, a male perspective, um, even even perspectives that are diverse than what we think, that are different from what we think. I think that's really good. So yeah, we want to talk about if a woman can be a career woman in business and be in a success. So basically, being successful at both, not just being in a relationship and the relationship not thriving, or working, or and being a businesswoman and the business failing and the relationship being successful, but
Ooh.
both having that equilibrium. This is the discussion that we're going to open up tonight. And also the something else that we're going to touch on is exploitation. One of the topics that have been on me for some time now is um, the observing how women can be exploited in the business sector. A lot of times, because women are perceived as nurturers, and we may have a very sensitive and sweet approach. And I believe sometimes in business, we can be taken advantage of. So that's a topic I want to broach as well, because our guest, he actually owns a business and he has a lot of female employees or female staff that works with him. So I want to hear what his perspective is on that as well. Go ahead, sis.
Since this is the prelude um to that, and I love that you brought up the exploitation piece. As some of you know, I started a small business, and it's not my first time doing something on the entrepreneurial side, but holistically it is. And I'm running into some things that I've never encountered before business wise. And it's been very interesting to me because I've encountered exploitation by men. I've encountered a lot of things by men, but I've never encountered where a man has tried to exploit me business wise. If anything, I'm used to being the woman that they come to for business advice. Like, let me take you out to lunch, let me pay you for your time. So, with that being said, there have been a couple of men that have become very exploitive, and it's just funny to me. And I'm sure we'll delve into it deeper how some people are exploitive, and because they're used to dealing with women and with people who are not cognitive and who are not aware of what manipulation looks and feels like. And like a lot of us women, if you're tall, if you're handsome, if you're well spoken, it's just like, okay, it's easy. And it's sad to say, but it has just become a very interesting dynamic for me to even if it is business wise.
Sis, I don't know. It sounds like on the YouTube, the last section of what you heard. I did not hear it. I don't know what happened. But if you can repeat that last part
I'm
of
sorry.
what you were saying.
I was saying that sadly that my recent experience has been that men become very exploitive because they see a woman and they automatically think vulnerability. They automatically think lack of intelligence, lack of experience, lack of the capability that even if she is intelligent and even if she is experienced, because I'm masculine and because I'm dominant, that some way, shape, form, or fashion. Can you hear us now, Michael? That shape,
I can hear
some
you.
way, shape,
I
form.
just want to interrupt and let you know I'm listening, but I'm bringing him in because he said he's ready also. So if you see
Okay.
any, that's what I'm doing.
That in some way, shape, form, or fashion, that a man can possibly come in and exploit us, come in and take advantage of us just because we're a woman. That a man can just come in and basically take what it is that you have built and reap benefits off of it. And that's something that I would really, really, really love to delve into while we talk to this gentleman on tonight. Hey y'all, so there's a link in my bio. Sis,
Yes.
you left the Instagram live.
Oh, I did. Okay, so let me bring him in.
Okay.
And but don't close the live, and then I'll make sure I get back in. Okay.
Okay. So Instagram, just letting you guys know, because everybody's not on YouTube. We also have a link available and we're streaming live on YouTube right now. Right now we're just doing like the pre-show, basically waiting for our guest. He has arrived and Angela's working on bringing him in, and she's about to come back in on Instagram live as well. So thank you guys so much. For those of you on Instagram who do not know, tonight we have a gentleman. He's going to introduce himself. He's a business owner. He has several female employees, and on tonight we're going to talk about, can a woman successfully— you can't hear me? I don't see why. This has never happened before.
Okay, so I see him in YouTube.
Okay.
Perfect. Let me.
Can everybody not hear me on
Hey, Joe.
okay.
Can you hear us, Joe? I see you, but I don't know about your volume. If you can hear us.
Okay. All right, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Can you
All
hear me?
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
How you doing?
we can hear you. Okay, so this is for YouTube. Do you have your IG? You saw the information I gave you, Joe, for Instagram?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, so if you can
But
join Instagram.
so oh okay, hold on.
All right. And Tierra, did you close down
Yeah,
your
I'm still
live?
live on Instagram. Instagram, can y'all hear me? They about to come in now.
Okay, because I don't even see you. Let me go to your page because it was up before. There it is. All right. Okay. All right. And Joe, if you can request to join or the live. All right, Joe. So this is Tierra,
Hey
my
Joe.
friend. Tierra, this is Joe.
I'm trying to let Joe in.
Trying to let him.
There
Where'd
we
he
go.
go? Okay, so now he's on Instagram, but he's no longer in YouTube.
Um so do you just want to keep it like this on Instagram?
No, I want it on both. We lost you. So, uh, were you on YouTube on your phone or on Instagram? I mean, on a computer, Joe. Mm. You all give us a moment to work out the technical difficulties. You know how technology technology doesn't like me, but I'm gonna turn this I'm gonna turn this technology into working for me. I'm gonna break this boy. It's not gonna play with me. So Joe, are you just on the phone or you have a phone and computer?
I'm just on the phone.
Okay. All right. Okay, so if you can go back to YouTube and we'll just communicate like that, or I know Sierra, you said we were gonna start one way and then we'll end. I guess let's go
You
ahead
want
and get
to?
started. Let's go ahead and get started and yeah.
Right here.
Stay right there for now. Stay
Okay.
right there for now. I want you to keep having to move around. So we're gonna get started with our discussion for tonight. And Sierra, do you want to give that overview that you gave, a brief overview now that he is present?
Yes. So we're gonna let Joe introduce himself once I finish. So guys, thank you once again for coming on to another episode of A Pillow Talk. And on today, we're going to delve into the topic of can a woman successfully balance a career and a healthy, successful, happy relationship. And we're also going to touch into the exploitation of women by men in the workplace.
Okay, so now I want to introduce Joe. I've known Joe since I was a teenager, and I think he is wonderful to have on because he always thinks about things in a different way. He's very insightful, comical, quick wit, and he's going to have an approach and an ideology that is basically a male perspective. So he's not going to be swayed by anybody. He's going to say what he thinks. I don't know, but this is Joe. Um, the things that I know about him, he's very ambitious, very unique. He stand on his own. If he starts from whatever it is he starts, he's going to finish it. And he has wisdom in multiple ways. Wisdom in business, wisdom in the streets. So I feel like for our audience and our population, he's a really good person for people to get to know. And we'll see after he gets to talking if I want to cut him off. And if I still say the same thing, but this should be interesting. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring him on is because he's been a successful business owner for many years, and his staff are predominantly women. And so I want him to speak towards it because I don't know him to be somebody that is exploitive. I know him to be somebody that's like, hey, make your money. But I'm gonna open up the floor for Joe to speak and welcome.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I hope I can help a little bit.
Oh, I'm getting feedback for some reason. Tia, are you getting feedback also?
Not a lot, just at
Okay,
that moment.
okay. Let me make sure I can hear. Joe, you talking?
No, I wasn't talking. I was listening.
Okay, so I want you to hop in because I know you have thoughts on things. What do you think about um, the exploitation of women as it pertains to a businesswoman? And basically to unpack that, a lot of industries can be male dominated. And I kind of just want to throw out there a lot of times, like I said before, women are perceived as very sweet and nurturing and things of that nature. And so um, we look at it, most women, if they go for a position, the same position that a man goes for, they're not necessarily going to make the same amount of money. So what are your thoughts about women and exploitation and I know you got that smile, so I know you're gonna say some stuff.
Okay, well, I think it depends on what it is. And like, Yeah, I think you hit on what it is. So I think so. In my industry, right, that is men and women working together is hard because it's a simple, I guess, what is it, biology, chemistry that man see woman, woman see man is an attraction there. So and usually, as you say, a lot of times, if the man is in position of owning the business, management, things of that nature, it's easy to get confused. His attractiveness to somebody and dangle that over a woman's head, as far as kind of like exploiting her, like you said. And so I'm a firm believer that anything a woman do, I like strong women. Women's supposed to be strong again. More and more women have to understand it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no 100 times, 1,000 times. Uh, Whatever you build with, that's just gonna be that's gonna be what you stand on. So if you build in your business, you build in your career, you build in anything, and you don't bring principles, you don't bring something you stand on, then you will be exploited. And that go for a man or a woman. A man can walk in the office and think he going for a job interview, and the boss say, "Hey, we want you to do this, or you won't get the job." It's well, how bad do you want the job? So, but I think that with women, I would suggest is educating yourself on whatever it is you want to do. Like whatever industry, whatever it is, get truly educated on it because no matter who you are, once again, man or woman, the ignorant get preyed on.
That's right.
It's
That's right.
yes, ma'am.
I said that's right. No, I was agreeing with you. Yeah, keep talking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
Terry
had
has a
something
lot
to
to
say.
say. I do. I do. I was waiting for you to finish. And I'm listening now. Are you done? I don't want to interrupt you.
Uh, well, if you got something you want to add to it, it's no biggie. If you got something you want to add or something like that.
I have a question. I heard when you said that it's probably a 2 or 3 level question. I heard that you say that it's okay for a woman to say no, and I agree. First question: what about us women whom have said no in situations, but we have lost our voices? So sometimes it's easier to comply, even when it comes to business and things of that nature. Or because you've lost your no. Should it not be that men should respect women so that we don't have to say no? Then the second question that I would like to ask is also, I do agree that the ignorant get preyed up on. I agree with that 100%. But I would like to put an addendum on that or an asterisk next to that and say that even if you are highly intelligent or educated on that which it is that you are going after business wise, you can still be preyed up on as a woman because we see it happen all the time just because of the level of masculinity and by it being a male dominated field. So, in those instances, what type of advice would you give a woman?
Okay. Once it's like so, I'm a believer in strength. One of the things Angie say about me is like, I'm very ambitious. When I ain't going, I just ain't going, and I don't care what the consequences is. I'm not going, and I think that women have to take that same approach. It might take longer, it might be harder, but sometimes you gotta be willing to say no, I'm not going there, or like be willing to say yeah, you just have to say no. It's under no circumstances, and it's not just women, it's us as a people. Like so, uh, I reached a point in life and I thought about this, and it's like so. A lot of times now we sit back and we talk about women's rights, Chinese rights, gay rights, all of these rights, right? The reality of it is, no matter if you're a woman, you gay, you Chinese, you black, you whatever you are, about, the first thing, we all are human beings, right? And us being humans is basically a human right thing. Because anytime the same person would do a woman wrong, would do a man wrong, would do anybody wrong that they could actually do wrong. So it's just like with the women is, I've never been a woman, and I don't know what it's like being in a room with a man that intimidates me. So that's going to be a view very hard for me to understand. Uh, but it's just like, as women, I'm the type of man that encourages women to be firearm owners.
Yes.
I'm the type of man that encourages women to go take martial arts classes. These are things women gonna have to do, especially as we enter the world where there's more and more single women and more independent women. Where if you're gonna be single, you're gonna be independent. You're gonna have to be able to defend yourself, and you're gonna have to be able to stand up for yourself. And that's got to be the mindset where, hey, I'm not going. Got to be the mindset of our sisters. You know, certain situations it's hard for me to speak because I just never been in them. So you have to like give me complete scenarios, and I can tell you what I would do. But once again, I'm a 5'10", 200-pound man. So how a 5'10", 200-pound man deal with this issue might be different than the way a 130-pound 5'2" woman might deal with it. So I completely understand and I get it, but we have to make it a norm with our women, because the more and more women saying no, and the more and more women standing on that no, it becomes a norm now. One of the things with society is we have to teach each other how to address and deal with one another. That for the longest, especially here in this country, where ignorance being a big thing of the day as far as the treatment of other human beings. So we 60 years into black rights. We about 8 years into gay rights. We just a little bit of time into basic human rights for individual groups, and it's crazy when that's when I said we are humans and we got to get into the human rights of things. But one of the things I say, I've been blessed in life to be some very strong women, very strong, very opinionated. These women made me feel like, hey, they'll bust you upside your head if you don't go along or you disrespect them, or you. And that's the point where it's a difference between being strong as a tough and a strong feminine woman. Strength, it don't have to come in like the form of a frown and growling and grizzling all the time. But strength is no. I said no, and that's just what it is. I'm gonna call the police on you. I'm gonna report you to HR. Women gotta, can't just be when one person tell the first person they do it, they gotta tell. It's I don't know if it'll happen overnight, but I know we gotta start somewhere. So the first thing women gotta do is say, hey, we're not being scared no more. We talking. We saying this. We saying that. We gonna bring all this stuff out to the forefront when one is being done wrong at the workplace and business period. It's no more than us doing business. Would you go to the gas station and every time you walked in, they called you out your name? Would you keep doing business with that place?
Right.
Or would you get on Facebook or social media? Hey, over there, so and so, they call me this. I advise y'all don't go there. And that happens. As like with women, I imagine you been starting a business, you would need to deal with different men, because so happen me and the electricians, me and the plumbers, me and the whatever you need done. But even in those saying, hey, so and so, I couldn't get the job done because this man wouldn't stop. And that's what women got to do. Until men, it's like men got to understand, hey, if I go wrong with these women, it could potentially cost me in the long run.
Exactly.
And that's that.
Exactly. Okay, I want to move over to YouTube now. This is a good intro. So if you can go on back on the YouTube, and we'll just come off of Instagram. Everybody on Instagram, the link is in her bio, link is in my bio, and we'll continue this talk on YouTube. It's going good. All right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Can you hear me? TT? I can't hear you, T. If you can hear me,
Yeah, I am. I'm here.
how you feeling?
I'm okay.
Y'all feeling good? There we go.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good. All right, so now we can focus. We all on the screen, and I like that. I want to say this. I think it's major what you said. The ignorant get preyed upon. I'm going to give a scenario, but I believe that when you are competent in whatever you're set out to do, you're going to be more confident, and you're going to know if somebody is moving in a way towards you that is inappropriate. And so I do believe that having that knowledge base, it makes you more confident, and also it makes you less apt to feel needy. I believe sometimes as women, we can go into scenarios feeling needy, or there are preset roles for us. So I could be the bomb in business, but if my preset role, my dominated role is a nurturer, a woman, and there is a literal alpha male present, the preset role may be to fall back and let him be alpha and maybe nurturer. So I think, but that's relationship. That's not business. And so I think a lot of times we'll try to fulfill preset roles as opposed to who am I, and it doesn't matter what you think I look like or what role you want to put me in. I'm this, and this is what I'm gonna handle. This is the business I'm going to handle. I know a young lady, and you all will find it kind of well, I'm not gonna say both of you. People will find it ironic how when I talk to people about business, like women one on one, my communication changes a little bit. People haven't really seen that online, but I know a young lady, and I've done some consultation with her, and she's been exploited a lot in business. So she's really pretty, but and she's very intelligent, but usually her the way she looks is looked at more so than the intelligence that she has. So she's underestimating, and then she falls into that role of being a punk. And so when I talk to women, I kind of talk to them different when it comes to business. You know, my communication to be like, hey, we're gonna handle this business as it pertains to business, we're gonna run a train on this industry. I talk like that, like you gotta dominate. Who was going out like, well, yeah, no. And I'll give you all a scenario. This young lady, she did some apprentice work with this company, and the company they promised her at one point in time they promised her 4%. One of the guys told her 4% of the contract that she would make. The other guy turned around when she told him. She said, you know, he promised me 4%. The other guy was like, oh no, he's trying to beat you out. We'll give you 10%. I'll make sure you get 10%. She never got any percent. And what they did is they utilized her for how she looked so that they could make deals. So they sent her out to make the deals, and then they closed them and they kept the money. So in a sense like that, when I communicated with her, it's like, hey, ignorant is ignorant. Number one, if you knew what your percentage was supposed to be, you wouldn't accept less. Number two, you're like, are you being pimped, or are you actually working a business here? I'm gonna be quiet and let y'all talk. Who's gonna jump in?
Joe.
Okay, well, yeah, in that scenario, see, but okay, so all right, so you said about a woman looking good, so there's okay, not that you looking good, but uh, when you doing business, right? Are you mindful of what you have on? Are you mindful of how you come into the door representing yourself? Now, I know women should say that should make a difference,
It
but
does.
that's not reality.
Right.
You know, it makes a huge difference. So, I know a young lady who she goes and does business with men, but she wear these leggings where it's an extreme camel toe, and she wearing a top that's kind of showing off. So most men that look at her, that she's a beautiful woman, they're gonna think, "Oh man, I'm trying to." So they trying to take care of the other business, not the business at hand, you know. And so that's I don't know, you kind of setting yourself in a hole that way. But then like another thing you said, you 100% right. Where when you a woman and you come in the room, even with an alpha male, if this your business, this what you got going on, you got to understand. You want an alpha male around, you want some alpha females around, you want people capable of doing the job. But at the end of the day, like you said, this not the house, this is the business. So you got to come as the boss, the leader. This is it's matriarch kingdoms out here.
On
You
top.
know, it's a lot of species where in society where the woman is running that thing, and male or not, he gonna listen to what she got to say. But it's too in how she comes in with it. It's once again, I know a lot of strong women where if they come to me and say, "Hey Joe, da 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 da," Joe doing what they asked to get done. I'm not questioning her. I'm not trying to bargain or nothing. But I know she know what she talking about.
Right.
So I'm a do according to what I know she know what she talking about. You know. Um,
Mhm.
the thing is, I think in business, for dealing with people again, um, it's people out here, those electricians, plumbers, contractors that you got to go get deal with, and even other people. Uh, I call it they jive time. You know, it's just jive time people. Period. So of course, when they see a woman and they know you don't know how to do this, of course he gonna run some game and make it seem like it's this or that. It's just like a woman taking her car to the mechanic. You know, she might only need brakes, but he gonna have a
Right.
fixing something, fixing the trunk. You know, it's like, you know, and that's where, I think that it's funny. I was talking to somebody, right, and I said that I would never buy a little girl a doll again ever in life, right? That I'm buying little girls Tonka trucks and I'm buying them
Mhm.
construction sets and tool
Mhm.
belts and stuff like that, right? Because we try to say those things gender specific, right? Like I don't know if y'all heard about the kitchen set for boys, right? But I think that like so one of the things that hold women back in life, I think, is how we grow up, right? So with girls, y'all giving dowels and all of this stuff where y'all asked to be imaginative with these things, right? You imagine relationships, friendships, all these things, these bonds you form with the dowels is all completely like imaginary, right? Meanwhile, boys giving the construction trucks and shovels and toys that's actually practical in the building of society, right? And so I think that's why more men in the positions they in. But with a woman, how come? Like I don't see no reason on earth why a woman can't use a hammer and a nail. Why she can't use a ratchet, a wrench. It's certain things that, but this because y'all not taught these things, y'all don't know. And so since y'all don't know, there go to exploitation again.
Right.
You know, when it's like y'all got to get educated on just all these little things. Of you might do a certain type of business. So say you dealing with contractors, man or woman, you're gonna get burnt on one or two of them, right? But now after you get burnt, you start knowing what you're looking for and what is it you need. If you repeating the same process over and over, you'll know, oh no, I need the drywall that can get wet. versus before you ever build something where you dealing with drywall that's gonna get wet. You wouldn't know that, so they gonna bring you this drywall and tell you all good. Next thing you know, you got mildew. You just got to take advantage. You got to do it all over again until you find out. Oh wait, I need this type of drywall. And I don't think it's being a man or a woman because I know many men that don't know that. But with women, y'all, when do y'all have the opportunities? Who's teaching y'all these things?
Oh, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I before I say this, I'm gonna say that a lot of times people tell me you can't use yourself as an example because of how I was raised. So I do know that based off of generalization, um, most women,
Right.
you know,
A
don't
lot
know these
of
things.
women.
But the household that I was raised in,
Mhm.
I wasn't a girly girl. I hate dolls. My daughter hates dolls. The only type of dolls that I liked had to be literally like a human size. They had to have some type of bodily function. Like the baby alive that crawled, it had to crawl. They had to go to the bathroom. My little mermaid doll, she had to sing. Hated dolls. I would ask for footballs and collectible cars for Christmas. My father taught me how to use a power tool and drills. And my daughter was just looking at the ceiling. She's 17 and she was like, we're not going to hire nobody to fix this. We're going to get some drywall and some plaster and we're going to do this ourselves. My mother, Joe, you don't know, my mom passed away a month ago. I watched my mother on her hands and knees laying the towel in the house that her and my father owned, so
Mm,
that's why it is strange to me when women don't know certain things, and why even at 35 I'm still learning how to do more things because I have children to raise, but I also have a son to raise, but I'm a single woman and my daddy can't always come to me, and plus I'm going to try to
mm,
fix before I run to daddy because daddy got a life on his own. And at the end of the day, I don't need to be, because a lot of men aren't dependable when it comes, even the men that are in business. I'm encountering it. 4 different men have supposed to come to fix things for me, for my grandmother, and are not dependable. So like you said, it's like when you have to lean on the back of somebody else, you how can you really build a firm foundation if you don't have any experience yourself when it comes to those things? That's all.
I agree. I
Wait,
actually
can I say something real quick?
go ahead.
Hey, can I say something real
Go
quick?
ahead. Yeah.
Man, girl, that's what I'm talking about right there. I love your mama and daddy. They taught you well. You should have some
The
classes on
goats.
this stuff, like for real
The
though.
goats. Thank you.
Man,
Thank you. Thank you.
it's well. Go ahead. I come back later.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree. Actually, I agree with the dynamics of what both of you all said. You, Joe, what you said about imagination. Us raising our children, or women being raised with imagination. Even it's lack of accountability. Um, so women with imagination and males with lack of accountability. Because if you notice, when we have these types of conversations, we always talk about the what initiative the woman can take to put herself in the right perspective, but we never talk about the male accountability. And I think both of them, both dynamics in the conversation are necessary. The males need to be accountable for their behaviors and for preying on, especially our people. If she is one of us, I know you're talking about human rights, but your own people. I feel like males need to take accountability to where, okay, she might be fine, but this might be like my little sister. So maybe I shouldn't take advantage of her like this. On the same token, I feel like it's the responsibility of the woman to get that knowledge. Just to piggyback, while I'm listening to my sister over there, it's a lot of things. I didn't have anybody to depend on to teach me how to do certain things. So I had to do it myself. And even when I go out now, if I go out and I train, I'll go out and I train with some men, and they could be like like super experienced in all kind of stuff. And for me, I have to pause to be able to hear them because I'm used to figuring this stuff out myself. You understand? So it's like, wait, I gotta pause to let you teach me. I have to pause to learn because I didn't have nobody. And so I did whatever it is I could do. You know, if I had to research it, figure it out, get it done, that's, you know, I'm that tribe. Get it done, leave me alone. So I agree with both perspectives, but I do think that like my daughter, Hannah, when she was 4 years old, she didn't want no dad. She was like, she wanted a big wheel truck. She wanted she wanted big wheels, the pickup truck. She like that's what I want, you know. And she wanted with rims and all of that. And still to this day, she's like she drives my pickup truck. She don't drive my little car. She drive a pickup truck. It just feel better. It feel comfortable. So I think in my household, and I know my daughters being 18 and 19 years old, I know I got on their nerve because if I was out working, whether it was farming, trying to build something, trying to fix something, I'm like, hey, get out here. And I had them right alongside of me. So I know they couldn't stand me, but they have that mentality. If it has to get done, they're going to do it. Same way with my son, my oldest son. You know, Andre, he'd mess around. He would laugh now because when he was younger, as a little bitty boy, I'm single mother. I punch him. Hey, man, you know, guard your chest, man up. Hey, figure it out. If you don't know how to do it, figure it out. So my sons, my children, they would look at me like I was crazy because when a problem presented itself, I'm not taking no for an answer. It's figure it out. There is a solution, problem solved. But anyway, y'all go ahead. I just had to piggyback on what y'all was
Okay.
saying. I like that.
Well, I like both. I like what both of y'all was saying. I really do. And to address the accountability thing, right? This one of the things where it's just my opinion and helped me get by in life, right? And so as y'all know, this it's a different subject, but I'll tie it back in. So like over the last few years, right, we had this major movement called the Black Lives Matter movement, right? And the whole movement was about speaking on racism and unjust treatment of blacks amongst the police, right? And so, you know, and everybody like want police reform. They want the police to change. They want the police held accountable, right? And I agree. But my biggest question when it comes to black people in black neighborhoods, right? Like, do you think the change will come faster if should we wait on racists to stop being racist,
Right.
or should we just become the police ourselves? Which one you think will lead to the end of police brutality for us the fastest? Waiting on the racists to stop being racist, or if we just become the police in our neighborhoods? So on that note, what I say is it's like it's some scum bucket men out here. It's like the reality of it is I honestly feel like it's rough for y'all women because 75% of men they garbage. They like hot garbage. It's like that. I don't care how you slice it. You ain't gonna never get nowhere with him, right? Like I don't care. So if you thinking you being exploited because you a woman, no, this type of man is hot garbage. He'll exploit anything he could get his hands on exploit. So it's not that you a woman. So basically, how do we deal with that? You know, it's something that you can't change. You can't change. It's like the gazelle asking the lion to for it to not be lions. It's just not gonna happen, right? But as like I say, I'm a firm believer in women carrying knives, guns, learning how to fight. And just not going. Like you can't go. Y'all have to stay strong. It's like uh, on another matter, it's just like, do you know who the greatest African American in history is? Or my opinion of him,
Who is
like
that
the
in your
greatest.
opinion?
The huh?
Who is that in your opinion?
Harriet Tubman.
Oh yeah. Oh
Ain't
yeah.
no other black leader, black
Yeah.
American did anything more for blacks in America than Harriet Tubman. Like, am I wrong?
Oh no, I agree with you. I agree.
You
That
know,
in history that
so
is known. I'll say that in history that is known that we know about.
that right. So it's just like that. The strongest amongst us been women all along. You know, women, when we look at true history and we put it on a scale, like women, like through history, like, and I'm pretty sure we go all the way back to the motherland. Y'all been strong, like y'all, you know, and somewhere along the lines, I guess it was a devaluing of y'all and to make you think this or that. But that's like not the case, you know, at all. And I mean, it's in all different arenas in life where you had women who was really, really running stuff. And that's the mentality. I don't think that for the queens to wear their crowns, you know, I think somewhere that's been lost and confused to the point
Yeah.
where you end up in these situations where, dang, we got to a point where our sisters being exploited, you know. We got to the point where women feeling like this and women feeling like that. I got a sister. She only 10 months younger than me. Uh, I remember growing up, the first time she told me a dude touched her booty. I'm like, and she didn't like it. Oh no, come on, we finna go out here and deal with this. She was crying, but I made her hit that dude dead in his eye. Like, hey, you gonna hit this guy in his eye. He gonna learn today. Don't
Mhm.
touch your butt. And everybody who paying attention gonna learn today. Don't touch this one right here. And I've never had to stand up for my sister ever again after that. Man or woman. I feel sorry for the man who messed with my sister the wrong way. I really do. My sister don't gotta call me. But my sister licensed to carry guns and knives and all that. And that's where it's just like says you ain't gotta be afraid. Don't be afraid. Take what's yours. Take it. Like what is like, and you understand and dealing with these men, if you understand that some of the men you deal with gonna be jokers, that's why you gonna have to be put your foot on his neck. Now look, you
Exactly.
gonna do it like this, or I'm moving on. You gonna do this, you gonna do that.
I agree. I agree. So when I totally agree with what you said. And when I say speaking on the male accountability part, I'm definitely a person of I'm gonna do this. You know, I'm gonna handle my business. I'm gonna teach women, you know, to handle their business. But I always am going to bring up that accountability part because it's missed in social media, it's missed in so many conversations. And so that's why I bring it up. You have women exploited in so many different arenas. We're talking about business right now, but as it pertains to, let's talk, I'll throw it out there, as it pertains to like church, as it pertains to like Hebrew camps and different things, like women are being exploited, and it's different. A lot of it is psychologically based, you know, and so um, it's important for a woman to be educated and take the you know, do it herself, handle her business. But at the same time, I want men and I want our people to be able to look at themselves, because yeah, it might be okay for you to exploit this person right now because you don't know the effect on the whole population of our people. With you exploiting her, you're thinking, man, I just want to get some, or I'm gonna get over on her because I can, because she's simple minded. But you're not understanding that each person that you do this to, that's one of our people, you are slowing down our progression, you know. And so I want that out there where people will begin to take that accountability. Men will be able to say, I can look at her as a sister, you know, and I can look out for her. Or man, I may want to hit that, but I'm still gonna have some respect for her, you know, and treat her the right way. Um, yeah, so it's a balance to me. It's a balance, but I definitely feel like women. They need to be able to defend themselves. Women need to be able to put their foot down. And it's something that you speak of, and it's something that I know is just your presence. Because there is a point in time in life. I was telling a young lady this. There comes a point in time where your presence changes. So you could have grew up a different type of way, but certain encounters that you have, it changes you. You know, you have to identify if you're behaving as a girl, or are you behaving as a woman. And so there should be a transition in our behaviors. And even sometimes, I'm gonna stop in a minute, but even sometimes when we undergo trauma, we have triggers that'll send us back into behaving like little girls. That's not the responsibility of somebody else. When we behave like little girls, when we fall submissive in roles that we're not supposed to be submitting in, that ain't their fault. If they took advantage of it, they should learn not to do that, you know, but that's our fault. And it is our responsibility to identify what our triggers are and not digress in different scenarios and become like a little girl as opposed to being a woman. We do have stages where we transition into being a woman that can assert herself, and we have a presence to us to where people don't even try it. Okay, go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, and I agree with everything both of you said. Just that I know every woman has not reached a place where she has her voice. Every woman has not reached a place where she has been able to be completely vulnerable. Or maybe she once had her voice and she would stand up for herself and she got knocked down so many times, she feels safer just being quiet. Like, regardless of what the situation is. So I'm about accountability for both sides. For me as a woman, it would just be amazing if men held other men accountable. Because as a woman, it's only so much that I can say to a man. It's only a man knows what the role of a woman is, but I should not have to step into my masculine energy in order to try to combat masculine energy. Because regardless of, there's going to be imbalance. I, I'm going to be good, but I recognize I'm a woman. And unless I'm going to be able to eliminate a threat, if we're talking about physical combat, but when do men step into their role as head? When do men step into their role of, even if I'm broken, I'm not going to break a woman? Since we're talking about business, Joe, before you got on, I was sharing, I didn't go in depth, but I'm gonna just say it. It's this guy who I've been knowing associative via Instagram for about 2.5 years now. And I purchased some clothes from him because I was like, oh, these cute. I like hoodies. I'm from Chicago. Give me a hoodie. I got some kicks. So I bought some hoodies, and at that point, I was in a relationship. And the person that I was with was noticing these hoodies because he knew the guy who hoodies they were. I don't know the guy from a can of meat. Like, I don't even like processed food. Let me shut up because I was about to say something. I don't even like processed food. But he started to send me free clothes. Me being me, I'm not about to tell you not to send me free clothes, but I see you. I see you, and I see you from a mile away. And everything that this man does, I tell Angela about. I document it in depth. So long story short, he was making a lot of money from off posting my pictures for his clothes, and I sat back and I was watching. Then when I stopped, getting the merchandise or whatever, because I noticed that he would post certain females. I'm just sitting back watching. But long story short, he's trying to get to the place where he can exploit my small business. And he's doing it to the point where I'm like, this is very interesting to me because you're stupid. And you think me stupid, but I can see everything that you're doing. And this is a man that's supposed to be awoken to the truth. And men get very, very bold to let you know, oh, I'm trying to start a business like you're trying to start. And I know other people, but it's not the first time that he's tried to exploit me. What me and Angela are doing, he's trying to, I want to start a podcast with you. Just like a lot of little things like that. But if I was not cognitive, if I was not aware, if I was a desperate woman who wanted to be seen and noticed that this man has all of these followers and he's doing this and he's doing that, it would be very easy for me to be easy pickings. For you as a black man, what words do you have for your brothers who are out here trying to play in our pretty little faces?
Not the pretty little faces.
The pretty little faces.
Man, it's like so. I don't like you got me kind of speak. I'm trying. Okay, because it's just like as a male, and this probably why I walk around with so much confidence and esteem, right? And I know my value, right? Because I know these guys like that are out there, right? And so it's like that. I guess the obvious answer would be, "Hey, man, don't you treat these women like that. You're wrong, brother. You're all the way wrong. I'll catch you out here. I'm gonna handle that when I see you." That would, of course, be the obvious answer, right? But it's just like, so, all right, I'm a barber, right? So obviously, I make my money from cutting men's hair. I don't cut every man's hair. There's certain men you can't call me, bro. I'm not cutting your hair. And I get complimented from my other clients, like, man, Joe, when I look at your clientele, it's pretty extraordinary. I don't see guys like this, that, or that, you know. Mainly those guys you talking about.
Where your
They not
shop
welcome at
at?
my barbershop.
Where your
Huh?
shop at?
At 17106 South Park Avenue
Plug it.
in
Plug
South
it.
Holland, Illinois.
Studio
But
52.
like, look, right? It's like that because it's simple incident, right? Women being exploited. So one of my beauticians, she was just got dropped off by her boyfriend, and she was walking in. It so happened it was more guys than usual up in there. So one of the guys, you know, ain't nothing wrong with her, you know, when you look, right? One of them. But this guy, all like, man, he might as well had did a pap smear on her the way his eyes went, right? And so I'm like, hey, bro, you can't do it like that up in here. I'm like, for one, that's disrespectful to her. For two, that's her boyfriend. How do you think her boyfriend feel with you looking at her like that? I'm like, that. Do you realize if he don't want her here, you messing up my money too? This is bigger than whatever you thinking. Is way bigger than that. The man got mad at me. Well, but it's safe to say the man ain't been at the shop in about 6 years, 5, 6 years. So the last time he been at the shop, but other guys, when you have a beauty shop, it's female dancers come up in there. You know, some women they got different jobs, and I don't. Whatever you do, that's what you do, in my opinion. But I feel like when you come into the shop, don't. I don't care what she did last night. Hey, bro, you can't broadcast that out here. That's between you and her, and really between you and God. Please don't do that up in here, you know. And so it's if I knew how to stop these dudes you talking about, I would have did it about 30 years ago, right? I got a mom, I got aunties, I got girl cousins, and growing up, the same thing you saying, I heard my whole life. This would shape me to be the man that I am. Because it's seeing the men who man, I got some messed up stories to tell about men. You know, I got an auntie, and this is a real story. It's a man broke her face, like broke her orbital bone, all of this and that. You know why? Because she didn't want to be with him no more. And she had this was the best living condition he ever had in his life, and he'll be dead if anybody take it from him, including her. You know, so this the mentality that's out here. So if you talking about a man moving into a woman's home and this woman becoming a hostage in her own home,
Right, that's
how do
crazy.
you think it's gonna go in the business world? How do you think it's gonna go in regular in dealings? You know, we dealing with some demons out
Right
here.
now.
So these are these some things we have absolutely no control over. So the only thing we could do is get prayed up, get worded up, get pistoled up, and put our foot on these people's neck that cross our
That's
path thinking
right.
they gonna get away with this nonsense. And
And
that's
set our
that it's like
boundaries. And set our boundaries
it
in the
set your boundaries
set
right.
your boundaries before they even come through.
And you got the and it's like, man, it's messed up that y'all beautiful pretty sisters gotta build up masculine energy, but it's not masculine energy,
That's
it's
right.
feminine
Right.
energy. You
Talk, because
know,
that's what I was gonna
it's
say.
it y'all don't realize that
That's right.
a woman is a protector too.
Come on.
A woman, you know, it's like
Come
the
on.
wildest animal on the planet is a pregnant woman or a woman that just had a baby in any species.
See?
Nothing messing with her in them two stages right there. So y'all not these weak vessels running around here. Oh, woe is y'all. If y'all want to believe that, then go ahead, and those gonna be the women that get taken advantage of. I'm sorry, but it's no other way I could see it. So you can't be woe is me. You can't be weak. It is not even a masculine energy when you have to be strong and tough.
When I say
But y'all
masculine
designed
energy,
for it.
I
That's
believe
right.
that everybody has a balance of feminine and masculine energy. When I say I
Right,
have to
I
step
mean,
into my masculine energy, it means that I have to step more into my dominance, into my authority. I
well,
don't equate
but
that with being a masculine woman. Just for clarity's sake.
right, well, but this is what I would appreciate, right? You it's not your masculine energy ever. It's your dominant energy, like you just said. And you should, if you're a dominant woman, it's women out here. Dominant and masculine is two completely different things. Strength and masculinity is two different things. You can be a masculine man and be soft as hell.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I
You
just feel
know,
as if
but
everyone
it's
has
like,
a balance of each, and when you have too much of one, then you're off balance.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
how I look at it. I do think that being a dominant, because dominance isn't always good, and masculine isn't always bad, and I don't think that they're interchangeable. So when I say masculine energy, I don't mean the same thing as like a hard woman or an overly aggressive
right,
woman, a manly woman. I
r-
mean a woman who
right,
knows how to balance the feminine side and could step into, that side if she needs to.
right. That, yeah, but it's just like, yeah, I think that, but as a person, you gotta always maintain that balance. Like you just said with the constant balance. So it's even like I jump into the next topic too. In that, how do you think a woman gonna have a business and run it successfully and be in a relationship without balance?
Okay, that's good. You jumped there. Pause before you go there, because that's where we actually going. Um, Man, I'm telling you, this is so good. What this the dynamic of this conversation, because I totally agree. I agree with you where we have the name that just keep running through my head, Nanny of the Maroon Tribe. But that's just because I'm kind of a thug at heart. So I like the the defense side. I like the like go wild, go hard kind of, if you have to. But I do understand what you're saying. See, I understand that side of, as a woman, I would prefer to feel that feminine side, but there is a balance for me. So I will not fall into that role of like girly feminine. I'm still a girl, I'm still a lady, I'm still a woman. But as far as take it down, unless I'm in a safe place to be able to bring If if I am around a pack of wolves, I'm not going to be very relaxed and comfortable. If I'm around a pack of wolves, I'm going to have myself together where I can deal with them wolves. But if I'm in a place where it's my safe space and I know that I can, I could whatever, which still is the thug and the girl and all the lady, the woman, all of that, I'm going to be that in my safe space. So that whole balance, I agree with. I agree with that. We need to have a balance. But I also agree with what you said, Joe, as far as the strength of a woman. And I look at I was thinking about Nanny of the Maroon tribe. I mean, this is a woman that led men. And that just could be because of the way I think. My mind is like military, like so, but this is a woman that led men, and I'm not a woman that wants to lead men. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whatever the role is, whatever I'm supposed to do at that time, I can shift into that ability. I would prefer if somebody else handled the responsibility and not me. But if they're incapable of doing it, I'm going to assimilate and I'm going to handle that business. And another name, I was talking to a man this might have been about 3 weeks ago. We were talking about these dynamics between men and women in business, and I was actually telling him about the woman that I mentioned to you all, how like she's easily preyed upon. And he looked at me and it was really funny. He asked me, he said, this person reminds me of you. He said, have you ever heard of Griselda Blanco? I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I never heard. He's like, you haven't? You've never
You
heard of her?
haven't?
I'm like, no. He said, she is one of the most feared people. She's one of the most feared people wherever she has been. And he emphasized she's one of the most feared, he said, people. See, because she moved in a level of authority that her womanhood wasn't even the status. Her womanhood wasn't even the topic. Joker, you gonna handle the business the way I say you handle this business, or else, period. And so I think that's the womanhood I want to see women climb to when it comes to dealing with business, not be a Griselda Blanco in the sense of, but where your
But
femininity and your womanhood does not define your role and your position. When people see you, they know, oh, okay, this is the business that you do. It's just boom, business, whatever that label is. Woman is not first. Okay, we can
want
jump
me to
into the
tell
other
you
topic.
what?
Hmm.
I I think like, I know I want to feed off something you just said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like hey, you said a couple things. Uh okay, so here's a question, right? Is leadership a gender specific thing?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't believe leadership is gender specific, but I do believe that in some leadership roles, um, depending on who it is that you're leading, they may have to learn how to follow authority of a different gender. So, as it pertains
Okay.
to people from the military, like I love dealing with people from the military. Know how to follow. They know how to follow orders. Period. It's like male, woman. As long as you authority and you what you sending me on, you know what you're talking about. I'm gonna handle that business. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
Okay. So right. So on that note, right, in some occasions, in some places, leadership might be best by a specific gender. It's not necessary that leadership is who the audience will receive better, right? But true leadership, I don't think all true leaders feel like you just said. They don't want to lead, man or woman. Everything I ever did in life, somehow I became a leader in it, right? But I've never ever wanted to be leader of anything I ever did in life. I didn't like that. I don't want the responsibility. but for some reason it's always been placed on me, right? So I got a thing on my wall say leadership is born when toleration ends, right?
Mm,
So it's in the sense that if you believe leadership is non-gender, it doesn't have to be gender specific. It's based off getting the job done and who could get us to where we got to be, right? When a
mm-hmm.
woman is in charge, she got to know that about herself.
Yeah.
Leadership is also a confidence thing because generally speaking, the true leader, they not going for anything else. They just not going. So is that's true leadership. It's like no matter what you say, this is this person, that person that the true
Mm-hmm.
leader, you can't sway them in they thoughts or they it's just people follow them. And so I think that another thing is so how you said about being uh leave your I don't know what the right word I want to say leave your femininity at home. When you walk out the door, you got to understand you in the jungle. You dealing with the wolves
Yeah.
and the
I'm gonna
lions.
play in the jungle.
It is your man, your woman, your husband, your kids, your wife, whatever, however you rolling. Your piece is at home.
Mm-hmm.
When you step out that door, hey, you got to get mowed. And that's from whether you in the leadership role, whether you going out here, hey, it's lions and tigers and bears. Are you prepared to deal with that? You can't go outside your house expecting some stranger to treat you the way your brother, your husband, or your dad would treat you. That's not gonna happen. That's just for the sake of argument. Until somebody prove they willing to treat you like that, let's say they not gonna treat you like that.
Mm-hmm.
So now how do we go out here and deal?
Exactly.
When I would suggest when a woman doing business and I just maybe I just be around pit bull women. I don't know, but like these women, they don't play. It is it's kind of crazy. It was a girl that was working at the shop, and I wonder was she running the shop more than I would. I debate to the day which one of us would. She paid me booth rent, but from the color scheme of my shop, there was a lot going on in there that this woman without ever yelling at me, without ever being aggressive towards me, things went quite the way she wanted them to go. And anybody that came in that shop with a swole, the shop was hers. To the point I had to put my name all over the shop. But she without trying to dominate me or my shop, this woman is just she was such a leader that I don't care who around her. All her boyfriends was like 6'3", 280 plus. Standing next to her and around her, they was all weak as hell. Talking about one dude was a black belt, but next to her, shoot, that dude looked like he ain't had no belt. But it's a belief in yourself, and that's where I think that uh as a man, if I had suggestions for women, it was like women like y'all, I gotta watch y'all podcast more. But y'all seem like y'all empowering women to believe in themselves and to know that y'all not weak, y'all not just something running around here, No, is and it's the balance, but it's like that I feel like women like y'all got to find the balance of where it is with women, how we got to be. Just like men like me, as other men got to learn how to be men. Listening to this stuff y'all talking about, it's just like, I won't lie, some of it is unimaginable to me because I just can't imagine men doing some of this. But at the same time, it got to be true because y'all saying it. And some of this stuff is not the first time I heard it,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like dang, I feel like just as a man, dang, our women in trouble. If I had to go, if I left this conversation, I had to go talk to the rest of the brothers. Hey, y'all, our women in trouble. What we gonna do? And it's just like, oh man, it's messed up because so as I remember instances where it was some women in trouble around me, right, in my family, And as a man, you want to go over there and hey, we got to handle this. We can't let him get away with that.
Mhm.
I remember one time my dad stopped me like, no, 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 you can't go over there. I'm like, why not? He just did this. Like, cause she gonna be back with him next week.
Mm.
I didn't. Sure enough, they stayed together. And
Mhm.
it's just like, hold on, sis, this the stuff. We wanna wonder why stuff be happening. When stuff happening, hey, you got the no, no, I
Exactly.
don't care what the circumstances is. And it's just like
Oh,
business, life, sports, all of this stuff is all transferable to me. It's like we could talk about sports and I could break down how to be a good athlete or how you as a good how to make you success. If you could be successful in sports, you would be successful in life. I feel like if you could be successful in a lot of different arenas, it's all the same rules that apply to the success of life. But it's just certain things that I think expecting people to change, it'll be where we go wrong. Instead of identifying, okay, you know, them some good sisters right there. We need to be around them more. You know, he a good brother. He got some friends
mhm.
that's like and build dang, I don't know how y'all podcasts work, but man, forget it. So it's a difference
No,
between
don't
black
forget
people.
it. You
Woo!
don't
What?
forget it.
What was that?
Because if you thinking about bringing people on, that's how it works. It's we like you said, being around good
Well,
people.
okay. So this what it is. When it ultimately boiled down, our problem ain't man woman, right? Everything y'all just said don't have nothing to do with men versus women, right? Let me tell you what happened. We talking about black people versus some niggas. That's what the problem is. The exploitation. You got niggas that be
Mm,
exploiting black folks. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So you got some black niggas out here, some men niggas exposing some women, some beautiful black women. You know, and that exploitation, and it's like the niggas gonna exploit all the good black folks. To be honest with you, at least they
yeah,
gonna try to. But when we start identifying the difference between who the niggas and who our brothers and sisters is,
yeah.
that's a huge jump over the
That's
hurdle
true.
right there. Because it's just like I think that exploitation of all of us. It get confused because oh they black, so they gotta be. Oh, it's a man, so he gotta.
Mm,
No, that's not how it works.
mhm.
The same person, I'm telling y'all, the same person who will exploit y'all in whatever business deal y'all got going on will for surely exploit me. The only difference is I'm 5'10", 200 pounds. And I look a little meaner than y'all. I'm not so pretty. So that's the only thing that might save me.
I don't
Listen.
know because they say I keep a resting B face, and when I get in these meetings, people say I'm very intimidating. The man that was running this game on this lady for about 8 months straight, he was running game on her, just pulling the wool over her head. Said in one meeting with him, and everything was changed because of that. Well, I don't know if it's the resting B face, it's just I'm not in here to play no games. We come in here to handle business.
But look at
That's what we're gonna do.
but but look at the difference though. You came up in there with I ain't come here to play with you. I came here for this. And you came up in there standing on that. So what could anybody do today?
Mhm.
It's nothing nobody could have did to stop you. Like, 'cause you went up in there with this on your mind. And I just feel like, yeah, that's where it's at. That's how you got to approach pretty much everything. Like it's like that a woman doing business, going into business, opening up a business, you gotta understand, hey, are you ready to be the lead?
Right.
At the end of the day, that's what the $1 million question is. Are you ready to be the undisputed leader up in this here business?
Mhm.
If you are, you stand a great chance of being successful. If you not, it might get rough for you. You're gonna be exploited, taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Like to me, like one of the coldest is two of them out here, right? One name, Shanika, she got the jumping jail. Adrian, this girl doing big. This lady, my fault, doing big business out here. And then it's another girl, lady named Candace, right? Candace been dominating the hair industry for years, and the promotions, which is a predominantly male industry. But this lady, like, she and Candace more so than the other one. Candace gotta be sexy and gotta exude a lot of feminine energy. She's a beautician, got a store for women, all of these things. But I bet you there ain't no man out here gonna run up on Candace acting stupid. I highly doubt that. I've never seen it, heard of it, anything. And I feel sorry for the man that would. But that's because she knows she ain't playing with you. And that's what y'all gotta go back to. Hey, sis, you gotta, when you walk out that home, don't play with them.
That's right.
Do not play with
You ain't got to
them.
play.
That's the best advice I can give you.
I
It's
agree.
nothing wrong with being nice, being humble, but hey, no, sir, this is how it's gonna go. Sir, are you gonna
Yeah,
do
we
what I
have to
asked you
know
to
how to
do or
switch
no?
that. We do have to know how to
Yeah.
switch that humility, because if you've been in church or different type of places, they'll have you, with your head down, and moving the
And,
wrong
and,
way.
and that's ridiculous right there. And you can't like yeah, that is how do you, I guess, teach surety.
Hmm.
You got it's like and that's one of the things is, yeah, it's exploitation of women, downing of women, undervaluing of women. I don't even know all the words, but I can see how it's easily to try to make a woman feel inferior. I don't feel superior to a woman. I don't, and I don't know men who. Well, I guess it is some, but the majority of men I know, we don't feel like it's our place to dominate you and be that. When we at home in our household and our bedrooms, that's something different. But when we outside and even then in the household, it's just like it's not a dominance. Like I tell women all the time, it's that word submission, right? A lot of people don't want to be submissive, but I don't think submission is a man say jump and you jumping. It's not coming to America where you bark like a dog and you that's not it. So it's like when you know where you going and what you doing as a woman, you know where you want to be, you know where you want to go, right? I feel like that partner, that mate, should be somebody that's capable of taking you where you trying to go.
That's right.
He got to be capable of taking you where you trying to go. If he can't take you where you trying to go or ride with you how you need him to ride, that's not the one for you. You know, uh, uh, now it's like submit to a coach, I guess. You go if you want to train or you participate in the activity or something. Everybody got to get coached up. So this person should ultimately be trying to make you the best you for achieving that goal. And if they not doing that, that's the wrong person in your life. So it's just like yeah, on that note, you should never be backseat riding. It's like, I guess, in relationships specifically and only, we got roles, right? If you believe in the Bible, this and that. But outside of, when you walk out that house, leave your submissive self at home. Leave your what you call your humble self. Leave your head bowing next to your bed.
If I
With
may,
your house shoes and your
uh,
huh?
if I may, because you brought up the word submission, and I love that word. I think it's a pretty word. It's a curse word to a lot of people, but see, we always hear about it on just from a female to a male aspect. From what I've been taught, from what I've seen in real life, and even biblically, since you mentioned the word Bible, submission is one to another, and I believe that's why it's such a scary word for women. because men don't realize that they need to submit to their wives as well. It's an equal submission. My father would publicly say that him and my mama was together 37 years, married for 36 years. And he said the only way that marriage can work is if submission is one to another, that a man has to be willing to become the sacrifice, just as Christ did. And sadly, a lot of people are anti-submission because a lot of men don't know how to lead. And so they lead with false authority. And they go around believing that because you're their girlfriend, you owe them submission. And that's error. We have a lot of women operating in wifely roles and doing things for men. And I told my daughter, I was like, my ex, he called me slipping because I broke all of my rules. When I say I broke all of my rules, I don't cook for men. You know I can cook. Go to my Instagram. I feed my children. If you happen to be around and a meal is prepared, then you can eat. But I'm not your wife who was feeding you before I came along. Can you not cook for yourself? Because then my question is going to be, are you going to fill up my refrigerator and now feed me and my children if this is what we're going to do? But this is not what we're going to do because we be playing house. So back to the submission side, we have a lot of men who lead with false authority. And they do so with scare tactics and with mediocre sex and with money and things of this nature. They break women and they feel as if I was told you just will not conform. Well, Romans 12:1-2 said, be transformed by the renewing of our mind. I'm not supposed to conform to the world. And if you're leading me in a worldly aspect, then no, I will never conform. And if you are expecting submission from a woman who you have not given your authority to by giving her that king's signet, your name, then you cannot expect submission to her. And if you are not submitted unto the Most High, then how can you expect something that you are not given? But then do you have enough wherewithal in you as a man to break yourself so that you can submit to her and to what it is that's the betterment of her? Because if you can't do that, then how can we get back to the question that you asked? Can we be a woman that's in a healthy relationship and have a career? That's all I got, y'all.
No, I want her. No, I'm rolling. I'm rolling with everything you just said. I agree. I just feel like you took what I said and man, you jab with it. Like I love it though. I love it. Like you want
mediocre sex and money.
Yeah, I 100% feel you in like I think you should submit, but I don't think you like. And that's what like my thing with that, like the submission word is not of the stuff we scared of. It's the sense of like you knowing that, right? So you know good and well you ain't supposed to you know so you get it. Like you, man, I like you a lot. Like
he cooked for me first. He was cooking for me. No, but you're not supposed. I did. I got worn down. I did, but I admit to doing things that I don't do. It wasn't something that I know a lot of women who will get men by doing that. I had to be first, and I had to be, and then I was like, okay, I guess I'll give you a meal, but then I'm like, what am I doing? And so I don't want another woman to find herself in a spot where you cooking for a man and you helping with laundry and you doing all of these things that I've seen women do who are just girlfriends. That's not your role. At least to me.
I 100% agree with you, and I feel like that's the standard. Like women have to have themselves some standards because this is what I be feeling like, right? So, all right, cause we could go like this is like never end the conversation. What men should do, what women should do, right? So I be feeling like that. Y'all want to help me get these brothers to act right? Stop messing with them until they ready. If they ain't qualified and they ain't with,
say it again. What you say? Stop messing with them until they ready. And that right there is the truth, because too many women are giving up everything and men can bounce from woman to woman to woman, and there is not a standard.
Right. And it's just like at the end of the day, it's just like, oh man, this thing goes so deep because it's just like that I believe in I used to hear Farrakhan say stuff like this and I didn't quite get it back then, but y'all don't realize like that y'all are the necessary, y'all the like if y'all the first thing a child, man or woman, our future all come out of y'all, right? And so if y'all broken and beaten, which y'all can't help but to raise some broken and beaten kids, which they gonna be weak and defeated before they even become old enough to be anything else, you know. So now we got a continuation of us being weakened as a people, all because of this decisions, you know. And so it's just like we can't really afford to have y'all beaten down or feeling weak or feeling any of these things because it's just like it's in y'all strength. Like I ain't gonna lie, like majority of my motivation come from women. Like I was married to a woman who worked 12 hours a day. So if she worked 60 hours, I wanted to work 63 just on the strength, right? Like, but seeing her handle her business made me like, no, I gotta do slightly better. And it wasn't a competition thing, but it was, like all jokes aside, but like it's when y'all feeling yourself and y'all let y'all rightful place everything up under y'all are going in the same direction, and I think we'll move forward a lot faster. But it's what it's just like it's what do we do? Like what do we do is like how do you distinguish between the real man that's beneficial for you and like is what you saying and that's the part where even I as a man, I don't, it's hard. Like to distinguish the real from the fake, the good from the bad, the righteous from the unrighteous. It's like, and I don't know, but I think that like in taking time to study ourselves, to just get to study whatever words you read, studying discussions, it bring out this stuff, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's
I
hard.
agree. I agree. She just stepped away for a second. She'll be back. I agree with you. It takes. So I wrote a book, and the book that I wrote is it was actually for women, and it's telling them how to psychoanalyze potential people that they'll be with. But not only that, how to psychoanalyze even their people in their family and even themselves, because some things are predicators. They'll let you know ahead of time. Certain behaviors will let you know. Like a lot of times we'll say, "Oh, I didn't know he was going to do this," or "I didn't know it was going to go that way." But you saw some red lights. You saw something ahead of time. You just didn't pay attention to it, or you didn't ask enough questions. You wanted to seduce your own man because you had this fairy tale in your head, and that fairy tale is what you wanted to believe, and so that's why you ended up with what you got. And a lot of
But
people do that.
I got some question. I got a question on that.
Hmm.
So
I'm here.
okay,
I'm listening.
so like all right, I hear you on one hand, right? But I know
Hmm.
some people, right? That and like, man, I'm talking about. Look, these liars. Man, they good, man. I'm talking about they is good. These liars, like, they good. Like they they good. So it's like no matter how many questions you ask and all of that, like they
But you know what, Joe? It's not necessarily the questions that you ask, is how you're asking those questions, because people are going to tell you who they are. So it's not necessarily like, hey, such and such such, and you giving somebody an opportunity to lie to you. Because most people want people to lie to them because this is my end goal. This is what I want. I want you to be this. So since I want you to be this, tell me what I want to hear. But when you take that out the equation, I just want you to be who you are. And I want to see who you are, and if who you are fit with who I am, then you're going to get a different response. You're going to get a different response right there. And so I let people be who they are. Like if you are, I'm gonna be for real. I'm going to be candid, like how we usually are on the live. On the live. If you the nastiest, most freakiest man, expose. Who are you? I listen. I let people. I've worked in therapy. People will tell me they'll tell me their darkest secrets, things that they'll never tell anybody. But for somebody to expose their heart and their life to you, they gotta trust you, you know. And so to me, it doesn't make sense for you to get into a relationship with somebody and you don't even want to see their full self. Understand what I mean? People only want to see that first person that they meet. Like, show me you when you look good, and I'm gonna show you me when I look good. But all that other ugly stuff you ever did or who you are, I don't want to know that. So to me, it's more important. Let me value you as a person, who you are, before we get into any other man. I want you, man. Let me figure out who you are, and let me value that. And if how you move it's trash on your level. I'm identifying you as a person. I'm understand what I'm saying. I think it's important to value people. And people they all are on different levels. So if somebody is only on level 10 and they showing me that,
Right.
in my or somebody else's mind, they may be considered trash, but you just at that level and you need to grow. You may not be for me, you may be a good friend, and I'll value you for who you are, but that don't mean who you are is supposed to be with me. And I think a lot of times when people, oh, he fine, or oh, she is, or they body be calling them and they don't know how to put this stuff in submission. We like to use the word submission, don't know how to even put our own body in submission, and we want to put other people in submission. But so then later on, we looking crazy because we done wound up getting something else in the package that we ain't even signed up for. If we are realistic with ourselves as opposed to just our urges, then we can let people be people and let people show us who they are and value them throughout their whole process.
I agree 100%. This is the one thing because we have daughters that are at dating ages. My baby 17, and so I'm teaching her how to actually date so that she can get to the courtship stage because it's two totally different things. I'm teaching her how to collect data, how to keep people in the associate zone. I tell her, don't even let these little niggas call you their friend. They don't know you. They're friendly, but y'all are associates. And sadly, women in our age group, we were not put onto game. So there are a lot of things that we had to experience because nobody set us down and told us what red flags were. If you were raised in church, especially, they quick to try to marry you off to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Quick. They'll tell you, oh, you
That's
horny.
all you made for.
Yo,
You
oh,
somebody's
y'all
wife.
had sex,
Nothing else.
y'all
No
fell into
career. You
sin,
just a
y'all need to
wife.
get married. They don't teach you how to be celibate though. They don't teach you how to date, how to find self-love. They letting you start dating at the age of 16 before your brain even get finished developing. So by the time you're 25 years old, you not only got mommy and daddy issues, but you codependent and you done been in love 3 times. And so now you're chasing, and then the gender roles begin to swap. I got a lot to say on this, but when you collect data, and like you said, sis, and you watch people and you let people be who they are. I tell people all the time, this is what I come with. If I know up front that a guy is not a guy that I would even be interested in, I let him know. We ain't going there. Well, I want to take you out. Well, I'm just letting you know. If you spend your money on me, I'm going home to my kids. You're not getting nothing from this, and I still don't want you. Now, if you want to deal with that, that's fine. We can be homies. But see, a lot of times men and women operate in so much arrogance that we feel as if we could change somebody's mind
Yeah, a lot of people
just
think that
because
I'm
we
gonna
want
change your
them.
mind.
But we're ignoring all of these red flags because, like you said, since we be hot in the draws and all we seeing is body. You don't even know a body gonna satisfy body because you don't even know your body because you didn't, baby. And so now we got
Let
all
me
of
tell
these
y'all what's
people.
crazy though.
What's crazy?
I'm listening to y'all talk, right? And I'm like in 100% agreement, and I'm feeling everything y'all saying. But y'all got me over here thinking, like, dang, how much us men don't think about?
Yeah,
It's almost
yeah.
a reverse to everything y'all saying because
Mhm.
it's like men don't never learn how to get to know a woman, and it's like I know so many men who they think because they took you out to eat or they bought you this or they paid a bill that now you're mine and you got
Right.
and that they don't understand getting the matter of fact to be all the way. I wasn't to 30. I was 30 years old when I heard the concept of preconceived notions as it
Mhm.
comes to relationships. And
Mhm.
this was the first person to ever like you see from a man's point of view, we see, oh, she pretty. Oh, she got on some nice clothes. She got a nice car. She must be a good woman. Well, what does like your looks, your body, your clothes, your car, what do any of that got to do with the type of woman you are?
Mhm.
But us as men, we like not knowing either. Like I got married based off of height, weight,
Mhm.
job, and looks. It wasn't until I was deep into it and miserable that I'm like, dang, I asked for everything but a good woman.
That's deep.
I didn't ask for anything concerning this woman's personality, the way she would love me, the way she raised her kids. I didn't think about any of this stuff. I was so busy worried about her being shorter than 5'5" and all the wrong stuff that I actually married somebody like this. And I wonder why it didn't work. Like that's crazy, but on the flip side of that, I think us having these conversations like this,
Help.
it exposes a lot of things far as I guess our personal mistakes, but then it make other people out here who constantly making these mistakes that oh wait, I'm not the only people who doing it, and maybe I should change a thing or two about the way I'm doing it because I'm like I'm really really want to know like hey I want you to text me these things I should be looking for because
I'm gonna make a YouTube video
I,
about all of it. 10 red flags. I'm
Oh
gonna put
yeah.
y'all on
Oh
game
yeah.
because
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know
You
game.
know,
Angela
but
know
yeah,
game.
Yeah.
it just like, but I think it's like so much we have to learn together, right? Because whether you talking about just simple civil rights movement, the woman's right movement, but then just how different things are than like people like old school relationships, right? Where this was where the man was the only one going to work and the woman really couldn't even get a job, let alone get a good job and be taking care of handling the business. That wasn't that long ago. And so it's just like it was at a point in time as the woman, you better stay with that man, girl, regardless of what's going on. Everybody got to get slapped up every now and then. Everybody got to get cheated on now and then, right? And this was the philosophy that families was built on. But I think in 2021 we could be like, that don't work best for most, you know. So it's like we, huh?
Oh no, I just said
So
exactly.
it
And
seemed
then
like
I'm listening.
we got to kind of get to a point where we redefining a lot of this stuff as men and women. It's like I guess you could say it was about maybe 40 years ago where you had the single woman on the scene. You know, women been single mothers before then, but just predominantly in the last 40 years, single mothership has rose. So this something new. Like if we talking about 40, I think you just said you only 30 something. And, so this in y'all lifetime is when this change happened. So how do you know how to adjust to the change? And that go for really man or woman. You know, 40, 50 years ago in the average relationship, the man made the most money. And so it just like with all of these changes in life, society, and relationships, these are things that I think that we have to just immediately say, hey, we got to rethink and rebuild our approach on this type of stuff because it's totally different than what we was raised off of. You know, I think it's totally different. And as we search for those new ways, new boundaries, new ideas of how to approach these situations, I think we get to where we eventually gotta get to, but it just like far as like as right now to go, I think part of the reason why is because just look at the change in relationship values and philosophy just over the last 2-3 generations. It's like we talking about from our grandparents to our parents to us. Like it's a huge difference in my family from those three generations, and so I don't think that it's anything wrong with the new way. I don't think it's nothing wrong. I think actually the new way worked best. It's just like I think that I don't think that women should be stuck in relationships. I don't think that I don't think that women should be stuck with meaningless jobs. I think it's like that the empowerment it gotta come back. It got to. If it's not just for the sake of doing the right thing, it's just for the fact that this where we at, Files. You got women out here that's single, raising kids, so that want to be business owners, that want to be homeowners. They got to get stuff done in life. So what do? And we got to get to here. It is essentially where we at.
I agree. I agree. You said so much. One of the things I had to take me a little note when I heard you talk about the different dynamics in relationships and even the time change that has happened over the years. We have to get to a point where we are not allowing slave culture to be brought into our relationships, because that is a lot of what we're working through. We're working through that misplaced power. A lot of times people feeling like they have to assert the wrong type of power in their households, because this was in our blood and imprinted in our brain through generations because of slavery. And so it's something else I tell people, and I had to learn it myself. Like, we are a people that, like, if we get mad, we can get mad, we can do some stuff, but we have to be able to divide and separate our rage. Our rage is not for our family. Our rage is not for our household. It's not for our children. It's not for husband, wife. And these are the things, like, in our culture we need to learn. Like, that rage, that's for battlefield. That ain't for home. So yeah, you said a lot. And also I wanted to mention, as it pertains to, I wanted to go back where in the area of submission. One of the most beautiful places I saw um, an example of submission. And I tell this story. I was at lunch with a husband and a wife, other people. The husband told his wife, he said, close your eyes. And she closed her eyes, and he told her, open her mouth. She opened her mouth, and he put something in her mouth for her to eat, something that I wouldn't have wanted to eat. But she didn't even know what he was going to put in her mouth. And at the time, this was many years ago, I looked at her like, why did you do that? I was younger. And I'm like, why? You just close your eyes, you open your mouth, you don't know what he's gonna put in. You don't know what he's gonna put in your mouth. And she's like, that's my husband. And whatever he's going to give me is going to good. I trust him. And like that was many years ago, but that impacted me. You know, her husband is the type of husband that she can close her eyes, open her mouth, put her life in his hands, and he's going to love her like he loves himself, and he's not going to do any hurt to her. Now, flip mode. If this a young lady that's listening and you with a guy that you can't close your eyes and open your mouth because he might stick anything in there, I'm telling you, it's a whole variation of people out here. It's some that may say they love you and they have somebody else doing something to you. That ain't love. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to understand who it is that we're dealing with. If you have somebody like that that's going to love you like he loves himself, then baby, that's who you submit to. But if you have somebody else that's going to tear you apart, all right, then no, we ain't submitting there. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
No, I agree 100% with everything you guys said. It's also allowing people to earn that trust and earn that dynamic with you, because a lot of times we give people that which they have not earned,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a
Yeah.
lot of reversal that we have to begin to even go through, because a lot of times when people leave relationships, they go from one to another, they leave jobs, and it's just like a lot of hopping, there's no
Mm-hmm.
healing. And even when I mention jobs, it's because, what are you passionate about? What do you really want to do? Are you looking for a career? Are you looking for something to just get you by? Even relationship wise, are you looking for a commitment? Are you looking for a friend with benefits? Are you looking for a mother? Are you looking for a father? What is your purpose, and who
Yeah.
sent you? Is what it
Mm-hmm.
is that I want to
Mm-hmm.
know. And so even when it comes to the relationship dynamic between man and woman, and both of these people happen to be career people. I know you asked a while ago if we thought it was possible for a woman to be in a relationship and for it to be successful while she's a career woman, while she's working. And a lot of times a relationship is viewed in two totally different ways. A man can think that everything is okay because she's not arguing with him, they still having sex regularly, and she's still cooking, but she can be miserable, she can be overwhelmed, she can wish that he would come home and help with the kids, and cook a meal every now and then, and do these things, but out of the gauze of submission and wanting him to have a place of peace, he could be floating on cloud nine, but she's miserable. Just like you can have men and women. Oh, I heard when you said that a lot of men marry and they think that they got a good woman because she has a job, she has money, and she has all of these
Mm-hmm.
things. A lot of women think that they are good women
Right.
because they will keep you drained, or because they cook for you. First of all, I made a status on Facebook about 7 years ago that was hilarious to me. It came up in my memories a little while ago. Um, and I was noticing the amount of women who cook for their men, but the meals that they are cooking them make me sick to my stomach. And so for me, just because you cooking for your man don't mean you're a good woman. What are you feeding him? Y'all got to stop cooking all of these starches, because y'all are killing our black men. Y'all are killing themselves. Like, let's put some vegetables on the plate. I know that sound like, but no, it all fits in, because you have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
women who feel like because they do certain things that they qualify as wife, that they qualify in these, and because men are like, well, she cooks, she cleans, she got a job. Men marry women on paper, and you said it. I know a man that is considered a high value man, but because he marries women on paper, he's been married twice. But he won't marry someone that would fulfill him. Like, and I know this about him. And I'm sitting back like, oh, you won't marry somebody because on paper it don't make sense. Because they not in your tax bracket. They got this in their background. They got that, but this is what fulfills you. Why do people end up in relationships that
Mm-hmm.
don't really fulfill them?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Joe,
That's
you want to answer that?
that's it's like a great. Do I want to answer it? I
Yeah.
don't have an answer. Hey, y'all. But I think that though, like it seemed like in both aspects, men and women, that it seemed like we both have to I think first do a little bit more soul searching within ourselves to realize who we are and what we really want out of life. And then I think the more we know the answer to that question, the more we can find the answers to, or be even more willing to look at the answers of who is it that we dealing with, and how will they affect what we got going on in life, because so it's like I say this thing all the time, like I it's like until you ready to submit to me, don't call me your man. Don't call me your husband. Don't call me anything other than my name. That's really what I am. Until I feel like we get to that point, because with the submission come trust. Because it's like ultimately for you to submit to me, you have to trust me. And so it's just like, am I trustworthy as a man in your opinion? And I guess as a man is tapping into that it's like although I wanted those other things I said was BS when I got married, the ultimate first thing she did was I experienced comfort like I never ever experienced before, especially in this situation I was in. And so I'm like, man, if you can make me feel this comfortable in this situation, man, maybe it's something to you. But it was so many things that was deeper than that comfort in her, in the way she looked, that later on down the line I would have to figure out and stuff. And but I think that it's a patience and a bigger
I wrote that down.
thing at the end of the day. Huh?
Yeah. No, I said I wrote that down.
I think
Patience.
at the Yeah, it's patience. It's like patience within ourselves, and knowing what we deserve, but even more so willing to commit to ourselves. Because once again, when it comes to me and a woman submitting to a man, I don't think any woman should submit to. It's like you got to know this man not gonna take you where you're not trying to go. You got to know he taking you where you trying to go. You got to know that, like that lady said, you asked the lady, well, how could you just close your eyes and open your mouth? You got to know that this person not going to and it got to be vice versa. It got to be when you talk about the man submitting to the woman. Hey, if she tell you, hey, baby, close your eyes and open your mouth. Can you as a man do that? I would find that hard to do with 99% of the people I know, So it's yeah. How do we get to that point? It's I guess at the end of the day, and I think that like both of y'all, some of the things y'all saying, like how y'all raising y'all daughters, how y'all raising the sons, even like the things that y'all say about yourselves, it's just like it's amazing to me, to be honest with you, because I never been around two women at the same time. And they both had some type of self awareness and accountability level. Oh my God. This is the best threesome I ever had.
There go Joe. That's Joe.
I was waiting on
That's Joe.
but no, it's like no, because like everything y'all said, I agree with. I can't say I heard anything that I disagree with, that I wasn't always in agreement with. The only thing I would add to y'all is it's just like, man, it's like trusting yourselves and trusting God. God didn't give y'all this platform to be out here. Angie, I've been knowing you for a long time, and I know that man, we what 20 years at least I could say. I know it's been your mission to help people. I know that you really been like it's been in your heart and on your mind to help people, especially women. You know, I don't know what all you've been through to put that on you, but I know what the sincerity you have in doing what you're doing, that it's not some type of scheme or scam. Man, I'm just meeting you, but when I'm listening to you, I can feel your power and aura and authority from Zoom or whatever we doing is there. It's just like y'all gotta believe in that and stand on it. You know, it's like understand y'all the world y'all living in and the steps you know. So okay, with 2016, Donald Trump won the election, right? And a lot of people like, oh man, if this was gonna happen and that's gonna happen, people was gonna go crazy, right? So my question for the people who thought that the world was about to go crazy is, how many boxes of bullets did you buy? How many new guns did you buy? How could you think the world going crazy and you not think to protect yourself? It's just like as sisters. This why like I'm a firm believer in women. Like for y'all to be queens, you gotta know just as much as the king, because if the king go down, you gotta run the country or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like that's why I'm a firm believer in women protecting themselves and women having protection. You know, guns, knives, nunchucks, self defense classes, you know, long nails to gouge somebody eyes out that do y'all wrong. I'm
Hey Joe, Joe,
all for that.
Joe.
Huh?
You play
Yes, ma'am.
chess, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You taught me how to play spades. I learned how to play spades from here. Play to
Dang.
win. Play to win. But in chess, who go all over the board?
The queen,
That's right. That's all I want to say. Keep going.
you know. And bringing up chess is like a lot of people with the most powerful piece besides the king, which obviously you only but you got to protect. You know, is that the queen go all over. When you push your pawns down, nobody gonna ask for anything other than the queen. You know, so it's just like queens are very important. They've been important. Beside every great man, it's a great woman. Besides every great woman, I believe it's a great man somewhere, you know. But it's just like I think that the direction you going in and the direction the thought fires, getting out the slave mindset. But even this, the crazy part about that, right, is that so they would have you believe that in the slave mindset that the woman was just this weak creature just going along. The women had a little bit more stability on the plantation, and she was gonna be there. So, in all, actually, she was the means of communicating, directing, and doing. If it was a man in charge, she would be the one that's able to make sure what he was thinking was continued. So it's like throughout history, like I know they try to flood you with images of weak women, women of silly women, hoes, all this stuff. No, 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 no. Throughout every powerful movement, period, it's been a woman in the mess, and y'all got to, you know, y'all got to know this. Y'all got to remember this. It's just like man, what's sister name down there in Cuba? But when you look at the Black Panther Party, it's a whole
Absolutely.
lot of women that you see with their fist up and, you know, fixing their head that I can't think of them off the top of my head right now. But I think that, like I say, and the biggest thing when it comes to women is, hey, stop accepting the fact that y'all supposed to be weak, that y'all supposed to be lesser. You know, I think we all have roles to play. You know, it's just like two doctors working on the same patient. You're gonna have to work over there. I'm gonna have to work over here. Two players on the same team. It's the reason why on the basketball court is five different positions, but all of them playing as one. On the football field, it's 11 people on the field. But take out one position, let one man on offense not go out there and line up. That play not gonna work. So it's multiple, it's different people, but it's different positions, and each position in itself is important in itself. And it's not a position of a man dominating you, or not a position of you dominating the man. It's the balancing where we raise family, conduct business, all of those things. And so it's like one of the things I would tell my wife, hey, when you going out here dealing with men, hey, you got to put on these, put a hoodie on, put some jeans on, go get you some boots, some steel toes if you can find some, just to make them think. Just the visual image you giving these guys when you about to go get orders in. Man, she cute, but she look like she mean business. It's undeniable. You can be cute, but look like you mean business. Like,
I'm
like you
laughing
look like you made a lot of business. You
I'm
look like
laughing
you got
because
an
you putting
Uzi
them
under your
up.
couch.
What you say, Joe?
I said she look like she got an Uzi under her couch.
I don't know why people say that about me.
You got a 22 up under the hair.
She should. She better.
She
You need to
should.
have. Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know, my sister just got certified in teaching how to handle AR-15.
Period. Go Siobhan. That's
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
she
Yeah.
an instructor now on firearms.
I'm gonna have to link
I'm
up with
like,
her.
man, yeah, you know, it's just like this, the movement. Like, why not? Like,
That's right.
do y'all know it's women with concealed carry classes. It's women with security
Look,
companies.
I'm laughing, but yeah, I'm laughing because it's been a long time. So you don't. Let's see.
That's what Angela's doing. She's training
Oh, she
women.
taking a concealed carry?
No, she's
Oh, okay.
training
Oh, that's
women.
what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about, man.
I keep my stuff ready.
Oh man, you
Wait,
got a
hold
nice.
on,
That
hold
look,
on.
that look like a nice blade right there. That's what I'm
Angela
talking
got
about.
way more than that. Me and my kids, we went down to Dallas to visit her and her children, and she was
See that?
actually training me when we was down there.
You can't see it on here, but I
Uh,
have to show. You see that? It's small, but it's smaller than the little camera. But yeah, here go that AR-15. You said she just got
okay,
certified.
hey, that's what it's like. Look, right. This what like I don't get right, and you know maybe I'm tripping, but I just believe that's how a single woman's house should look.
That's right.
That's just what I believe. If
I
you a
believe a
single
single
woman, you
woman
out here
and a
making
married
stuff.
woman. You hear me? I believe a single woman
Well,
and a
yeah,
married woman.
hey,
Because if that man is gone, she need to know how to defend. She need to know how to defend them
right.
children, and she need to know how to
Oh,
defend that household. So single and married.
but look,
Speak. Oh,
but
sorry.
if no, go ahead,
Speaking of that, because it was two
go ahead.
different instances where Hitman Holla, he a cold battle rapper. He from the Midwest. He from St. Louis, wilding out. Unfortunately, his girlfriend Cinnamon got shot and attacked while he was out the country, and he couldn't get to her. And she had picked up the handgun, and he told her, "No, pick up the AR 50, the big gun. I don't remember which
The
one he had.
AR-15.
I think he had that one, but whichever one it was, she was scared. Now she did good because she defended herself, but unfortunately, baby ended up getting shot. And then you had a different situation where you got Dirk in India from Chicago, and people ran in their mansion, you know, and she got out the bed with him, blazing back. And
Period.
so both women did amazing jobs, but clearly one was more prepared than the other. Maybe based off environment, based off who she with, based off of the fact that those are her kids and that's her life too. So I just wanted to
Right,
mention that since y'all was talking about the guns and things.
yeah, and, and that's what I was gonna say. that like when you brought up I say single woman just because it's like without a shadow of a doubt there's nobody there. So you're gonna have to handle this. But you damn right a married woman should know because it's like if we in this, we're gonna have to defend our stuff together. So it's just like I even talk about our neighborhoods and everybody. Oh, well, this going on and that's going on. I don't think that's gonna go on where I live. Cause me and Bay, we gonna walk this dog with these AIs on our back. He gonna know, hey, we protecting our neighborhood, our
That's right.
kids, our family, all this. We not going. But
And this my children's
that's
right here.
the
Look, hold on. This my children's little gun right here. This what they shoot. So we had to train the whole
you
family.
teaching the kids too. That is
Hey,
what
yeah,
I'm
why
talking
not? You
about.
got competition shooters that are little kids. So why wouldn't you want your people to
Yeah.
be up there? You know, that's the other
But this
nations
is but
look
this is the
ahead.
thing. But this is the thing. I think that it's like would lead to the exploitation of our sisters, right? Because our sisters that so in the independent state for whatever reason it is, so we independent, our sisters independent and ain't got no weapon. You,
Right,
you, you by yourself and ain't got no way of protecting yourself.
right.
How do that make sense?
It don't. It don't.
like
It don't.
it should be like hey being able to protect yourself, but then it's the hey when it's like what you bring to your table when a man asks what you bring to the table, I bring you back is what I bring. I don't think it can get a better answer than you coming with having my whole back.
Mhm.
you know but yeah, I think like a lot of times though it's like I think it's men and women out here searching for the same things. I think we want the same thing. And I think that's the majority of men and the majority of women. I think that the problem is for the most part is we lost on how to achieve that. You know, some people was born with survival tactics. So that means rob, steal, or kill to get what you need out of life. And we're gonna have to heal a lot of people from that way of thinking and let them know, hey, hold on, you don't rob and steal or kill from these people,
Right.
you know. And but I think that it's a thing where like the best thing I could say to women and whatever they do, hey sis, respect your crown. It's just like you got a real crown, not this shit they show you on social media. So that where you gotta look like this, you gotta, they just think nowadays they try to push y'all women to respect y'all bodies more than y'all respect your minds. It just like y'all two women are some very unique women. Like y'all, I'm telling y'all, like y'all very unique, and y'all should be extremely proud of yourselves because it's like uh about saying like everything I could say a woman should do. Y'all already there. Y'all already. So it just like I don't know if I could give a woman any better advice than what I would imagine y'all would give. The only thing I can say is just straight from a man's mouth, man, these niggas can't be trusted. I ain't saying they can't be dealt with. I'm just saying this is where you have to strengthen your spirit of discernment and know even more so what you looking for and what you not gonna tolerate and not accepting anything less than that. But with that mindset, that's the key to a successful business. Knowing what you want and not settling for
I love
anything
it.
other than what it is you desire out of what it is you going after. You know,
Mhm.
uh, on a different note though, can a woman have run a successful business and be in a successful relationship at the same time? I doubt it.
Mhm.
Oh
But I'm gonna
no.
tell you why, right? I'm gonna tell you why. It's not just women though. It's not. It's like when you say it like that, it sounds messed up, right? But the reality of it is, it's hard for anybody to run a successful business and be in a relationship. It's hard. Just like name a successful man, Warren Buffett. I think he got divorced within the last 10 years. Bill Gates on his way to divorce, and the thing of it is with the divorce is because when you have that business, you're gonna probably spend so much time dedicated to that. You're gonna rob your significant other of the time that they actually deserve. You know, it's really unfair. It's like I'm in the process of divorcing my getting a divorce myself, and until I could change my career and change what I got going on, I won't be trying to be in a relationship with anybody else. I realize I'm wasting her time. I'm a good guy, I really am, and but I can't give you the time you deserve. I just can't. And that's just being honest with myself. So a woman trying to have a successful business, the hours you talking about 10, 12 hour days, 5, 6 days a week. If you're gonna throw kids in on top of that, be honest with yourself. When do you really have time for a man? Like that's just the question you got. You might have time to date a man, you might have time to have sex with a man, but can you really give that man the attention and affection that he may want if you spending 10 to 12 hours at a business or a job 5 days a week?
If I may, um, I feel as if, and I told you I can only go by what I've seen. I feel as if a person can't balance a relationship and a business, that speaks more so to that person versus the impossibilities of it being done. Um, Sometimes we enter into seasons in our lives where we don't need to be in a relationship. With that being said, I clearly I said I grew up in a two-parent household, right? Can you please turn the ring light back on? Thank you. Sorry, y'all. My father worked full time. There were years in my life where my daddy worked overnight. And just to ensure, he would take me and my older sister, who's 28 months older than me, he would take us sometimes to work with him when he was a pharmacist technician. My mama also worked full time. They had three children. There were times when my mom, she went back to school when she was 36 years old. She obtained a bachelor's degree, two master's degrees, and before she passed away, she obtained her doctorates in pastoral counseling. My mama still found time to come home. Still found time, even though we were older. So, we had rules in our house. Whoever made it home first after a certain age, you cook because our parents worked. And you teenagers cook food if you at home. My mama, and she was the first lady. She pastored with my daddy, and she had her own ministry. And I never saw my parents stop kissing. Like they had a marriage, a real life marriage, a real life marriage. Not saying it was perfect, but I've seen these things be done, and I've seen these things be balanced. And so when I see divorces happening with people in these relationships, business people, we don't know what's going on in their relationships. But a lot of these people are flawed in their integrity. So the more money, more power, more problems. But if you have it in your mind that you be husband, you have it in your mind that you be wife, then you will be willing to find that balance. And I'm sure, I've never been married before. I don't even like people. That it's easier when you're with someone who, even if they are not an entrepreneur, they're understanding of that. So then my question would be, is it impossible, or is it an individual basis, and is it a time management issue, or is it a true desire? Because I feel like people gonna do what they want to do. And if you really want to be with somebody, I don't know. Maybe that's how I kind of view it. But like I said, I ain't never been married ever.
So I want to interject. I have been married and I ran businesses when I was married. Um, I was the businesswoman. He did assist. There was other things that was why the marriage ended. But I have done it before, and you know, for the most part, I was able to fulfill my role um, as a wife. So I balanced it back then. Um, but I believe that it depends on the person. There's two different ways to look at this. If you have someone and you all are you have the same vision, the same goals, whether it be if you're just in business by yourself or you're in business with a person that you're married to, you are both agree, you both are unified, you're both rooting for each other, you both ambitious, you got goals, you and no insecurity. So one knows that you handling business. Maybe I'm gonna come support you while you doing that. I'm gonna come support you. I know for a fact if it's set up like that, it's going to work. That's even biblical as well. We look at Deborah in the scripture. She was a prophetess, but she also was a judge. Her husband was at home and she was the one handling business out in them streets. So, I mean, it can be done, but I do look at the flip side. It shouldn't always be done because some people, just on an emotional level, if you don't have no head where you can handle business all the time, and I'm going to be for real. As a woman, a lot of times, not all of them, but a lot of times women are more emotional than men. So after he just got through giving you some, you want to lay around and you can't handle business like that. You might not need to be in a relationship. If you one of them women that you always running looking up in somebody's phone, insecure, worried, tracking behind him, how can you run a business like that? So some women need to be alone while they are building their empire because emotionally they can't handle it. Because consistency would not be there. Because if they get sprung or whatever is going on with them and they not ready to handle business, their business is okay. So yeah, that's my opinion. I believe it can be done, but I believe each person should judge where they are and their capability. You know, if you're not emotionally mature to be in a relationship while you're trying to handle business or not. You know, if when you get in relationships, you get distracted, or your relationships go up and down. Like I have to have peace in my life. My life has to be consistent. I like no drama at all. I don't like drama. So drama have to stay away from me. So if you are that type of person where drama is in your life, you like drama when it comes to your relationships, your man is that and the other, some every other day. How in the world you gonna run a business like that? That's not going to happen. It's not going to be successful because um, even if you run it, it's not going to be at your highest potential. It's not going to be at your highest level. And so I just think each person needs to evaluate, at, like you said, as far as stages in our life, what stages are we in? And is it a stage? Am I emotionally mature enough to be in a relationship while I'm building my business?
And I think that so you talking to somebody I'm on my second marriage now. And the second one I got in while I was at the shop in, it's not just this marriage, it's relationships I get in, period. So like I'm a barber and I have a beauty shop. So it's like that when I tell them, hey, it's a lot of women come through here, this and that, and it's one thing. But then when you actually involved in it and I'm gone from home 12 hours a day, I'm around these women 12 hours a day. And it's just like I come home, I'm tired. By the time I get off, like, hey, I'm tired. I got a little bit of time. We might not be able to go here. We might not be able to do that. And that's a problem because it's eventually somebody with lesser time, with more disposable time, they're gonna want they're gonna want to go out, they're gonna want to this, and they're gonna want to that, and I think that anybody right in that, But it's at where's the balance? It's even like to be all the way honest, in my marriage, my current marriage that's about to be over with. So my wife got her own business, right? And so it's really hard for her because well, it was hard on our marriage because prior to us being married, she been a single mom, single woman, and running her own business, right? So now she trying to slide a man in. Well, I'm a man that requires a lot of attention. I'm not around a lot, but when I'm around, I want a lot of attention, right? And so I'm worse than a newborn baby, right? But that's one of the things I constant talking points, and it's why we go back and forth with each other because when she free, I'm not free. When I'm free, she not free. So it's like, when do we really have that time? And one of the things I look at is when somebody got that business, like you say, I know that she really got to stay focused on this, regardless of what's going on with me. That's her livelihood. But from my point of view, is I gotta stay on top of what I gotta stay on for my business go. But anybody you with, it's like the more they love you, the more they want you, all of those, the more they're gonna want to desire your time and attention. To where, like you say, hey, some days I can't, baby, I can't do the emotions with you. I gotta stay focused on this. They gonna feel neglected. And this man or woman, this as a man, I'm telling you, this how I be feeling. And it's like it's crazy because I go back and forth between, like, I don't know, I can't do the woman who it's like I'm attracted to a woman who want more for herself. So the less she need me, the more I'm attracted to her, right? But the less she need me, the less time and attention she give me. So I'm like, no, I need that too. And it's like, oh, I haven't mastered the balance myself in that. So that's how I can't ask her to master the balance. And that's my point. I think that ideally, me being a barber, it might be ideal if I mess with a stylist. So we in the shop together. We everything is kind of on the same page. For us building the shop, building a brand from there. But when we in two different professions, two different times, two different everything is hard. I think that, like, your situation is unique with your mom and dad able to work. First of all, you being raised with a mom and a dad, your mom and your dad in the same house, like that. In our community, for one, that's like you and met only 10, 20% of people in our communities grow up in that type of environment. But then for them to have the ability to continue to grow together, like, you can find a few black people to say that they grew up with their mom and dad in the same household, but now somebody had to make some career sacrifices generally in that household. And it was usually mom. Sometimes dad every now and then would be the one who made the sacrifices. Mom had to move. But for both of them to be growing, and that's like extremely like rare. So maybe you being in that
Ooh.
situation, you would probably be more qualified on how to make it work, being that the both of us was raised in a different situation. And I got a stepmom, been my stepmom for 30 something years now. But even in that situation, she didn't do like your mom did, as far as advancing herself personally. And so I think that, like, uh, man, I'm thinking about, I got aunties and a stepmom who really didn't work. And so, like, when we talk about the stereotype of women and the woman's place in the household, fire cooking and the housewife thing and all of that, dang, this only a generation ago that this is what I witnessed. And I personally, I didn't want that for myself. I wanted a woman who, hey, look, wait a minute. If I'm out here working, why shouldn't you go work? Hey, it might be good if I could do all of this for us, but dang, what would happen if we could do this for us? I always been like my philosophy in life, but I think that even nowadays, like when you look at relationships, it's just relationships, period, not even a business, it's the person with a job. So, like, I think nowadays more women make more money than men. If we took on average salaries, I think women get paid more than men, right? And so it's a power struggle in the households now. It's just like, how do you make more money than a man and still, play a womanly role, I guess. How did this go? We answering this question right now as we go. And so that's just a job. How do you maintain a relationship with just a regular 9 to 5 job where you making more money than this man? Then turn around and how do you maintain a business? And like as a business owner and being married, it's just like it's hard. It's hard. It's like that. And it's sadder, I guess, when you look at the most successful people in I guess the U.S. Majority of them end up being single. They're married multiple times. They business beat out their relationship, and I don't think that is that they bad people. I don't think that it's about anything about good or bad. It's just that like sometimes with those businesses, especially depending on the type of business you got, that thing is a 24/7 job. So if you working 24/7, you working even when you ain't at work. How do you have time to give another individual the time that they deserve? Like,
Joe, I'm
it
gonna
ain't
say
even
this.
about requiring or
Joe, I'm gonna say this. I feel like I hear what you're saying. I feel like one of the things that gets lost with people in their relationships is they forget the why. So it's like um the way I am, the way I'm talking right here, this is the way I am. I have let me see how I can say this. Okay, so there is somebody that is interested in having a relationship with me, but the way I am, the way my focus is, that's how I am. And so he would be more okay, so he's like a man's man, but he's also emotional, like how you say, and it might not be considered emotional, but you want attention, this, that, and the other. My head is like business, 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 business. Um, I feel like if you are in a relationship with somebody, like you have the mentality, I like somebody that is ambitious. I like somebody that gets things done, but I want my attention. If you all realize that this is for now, there are things are not indefinite. If it's like if your goals are to build up until this point, and then I feel like when people are in agreement on what the intention, what the goal is going to go differently. So for me knowing that this man, like, oh, how he feel or this, that, and the other, but we're not going there because I know where my head is. My head is in handling business. And if it ever was going to be a relationship or ever being together, it's going to have to be an agreement that we're building. And this is what I mean when it comes to building something, you keep working until it manifests. So I think pretty much all I'm saying is like, if you love a person and both of y'all have the same goals, sometimes you got to put that I miss you stuff aside just to get done what needs to get done. I don't know. Go ahead, y'all tell me what you think about that. But that's just how I move. I move in a sense of let's set this aside right here and handle this business because the scripture say a wise man leave an inheritance for his children. So if I'm sitting up being mushy and sensitive right now, I can't handle this business not the way that I need to handle it. Or I think that it's incremental and things don't have to be indefinite. Like if you ain't loving on me today, I can't see it in like we can plan this stuff out. I don't know what y'all
right
think.
now. I feel what you're saying, but At the same time, okay. So this is what I tell the younger men that come to the shop, right? When it comes to relationships, I tell them to leave it alone. Leave it alone until you got yourself together. Don't come to that woman with your ambitions, with your goals, with your hopes and your dreams. Bring to the table a finished product or a close to finished product. So now when you get with this woman, you got time for her. You actually could give her the things you want to give her, time being a big part of it, without her having wait on your dreams to fulfill. Because this is one of the things I think where people go wrong in relationships, right? Is that somebody could sound like they got a good goal, a good plan, a good whatever, but for some reason they just never able to execute it. So how much time of your life do you put on hold waiting on them to manifest what they said they was gonna manifest? You know, and I think that's the problem. And I think that like and it's hard. It's not just on you trying to give that person what they need, but it's on that person accepting what you're going through in the process of trying to build what it is you say you're trying to build. And a lot of people, they can't see inside our heads, they can't see inside our hearts. So even though we put in the most sincerest effort towards doing what it is what we said we was gonna do and doing it the way we agreed to or said we was gonna do, because it's not necessarily their goal or dream, they don't understand what all it takes to complete it. So therefore, they're gonna make that journey rough on you, and now you at a point where you got to decide, hey, them or what I'm trying to do. You know, at least you start feeling that way. You know, and I think it brings a separation from that perspective too. You know, because now when you look at your significant other, this a person who you feel like nagging you for something, and you looking at them why they don't understand, and that breed like a different type of vibe in a relationship, you know. So I think that like if you got somebody that's either a settled enough in life where they can ride with you, where they not that it's like they got time to come sit at your business with you if need be. If that's how they got to steal time with you, cool. I can come watch you talk on the phone. I can watch you telling people what to do. If that's how that person feel now in that scenario, yeah, okay, I think y'all can work. But when you with somebody who they it's like because different people at different stages, especially the older you get, the more you want the person more so than they drink. You know what I mean? And so it's just like that's all like, and it's just from my personal experience. I feel like no matter how hard I try to be who I said I am, and I believe I be who I say I am. It's just that the overall time, and it's like even somebody watching me get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go clean up the shop. It was like if I wouldn't be here, I could never believe that you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go clean this place up, you know. And it's just those, it's the littlest things that, uh, and it's not, it's hard for you to balance the time. It's really, it like really is hard. But then it's that person, for them to balance their expectations. That's the harder part, I think, of the business. So if you got somebody who beside you and they behind you and they, yeah, let's do it, I got you. Even then, I say, let's see, because they don't know what all come with you running this business. So it's just like as you get to running it in the time where y'all might have plans, but you got to cancel all of a sudden because this just happened at the business. How many of those canceled plans can they go for? And fairly asking if we take ourselves out the equation,
Hey,
should
Joe.
they? Huh?
Yeah. So the answer is it has to be somebody that's married to you and your vision. That's the answer. Because if they married to you and your vision, as much as you love your vision, that's how much they're going to love it also. So yeah, that's it.
But you also have to make sure, because like I said, my parents are pastors. My daddy always made sure that my mama knew that that church didn't come before him. So that's something, I mean, before her. That's something that's very important because I've watched dynamics, especially being a PK, where men, because the church is a business, where men would put that ministry or a man would put the business and vice versa, women too, before their first ministry, which is your home, which is your family. So even if they're married to you and they're married to your vision, if you fail to make them feel like they first, then what was the point of them signing in for that? Angela, check your phone, sis. That's all I got.
No, I think y'all got some good points. I think that's how it should be.
Mhm.
You don't
But
think
will
that's
it be?
reality, Joe? You think we talking too good to be true?
Well, no, I wouldn't say it's impossible or too good to be true. I'm just saying like it's rare. But I guess on that note, then you would have to say that uh, the rarer you are, the rarer the person is that's the opposite of you and for you.
Right.
So it'll be hard to find. That
It takes
it's not just for anybody you could be with. This is where when they was finding the one, that special one. This is where those the all the things you talked about, the red flags, the dating process, it all have to go back to the original things y'all said about how you pick that mate and how you those things, because without that foundation being established, then the rest of it is mission impossible in my
right. Right.
you know. So it just like it's sticking to the red flags, the rules, the all of those things, because without that, that would be the foundation of building a relationship, I propose, right? So yeah, without that strength in that original foundation, then I think it'll be extremely hard past that.
And being equally yoked with somebody that matches you. And that takes us learning us first. So we have to learn who we are. And so many times we want to I know we're going to wrap up, but so many times we want to hurry up and mesh with somebody because we don't want to be alone, all of those different things. But we have to spend time by ourselves, learning who we are, what we like, what we all of that, and then identify, is this person, will I even be equally yoked with them? Can they see? That's why I don't often get in no relationship. Sis, do I be in relationship?
No, man, we be single like 7 years.
I don't because I assess for real. I know we're about to wrap it up, but I assess. Number one, I'm crazy. Okay. I go out into the doggone mountains. I go out into the freaking swamp. Them boots you said that you tell your wife to put on. I walk around in them boots like that, right? I walk like I am crazy. So number one, and then the way my passions are, I'm passionate about what I'm passionate about. So it's not, I'm not average. You know what I mean? I'm not, none of us in here is average. None of us on this live is average. As long as we've been sitting here talking about this stuff, we're not average. But I know I'm not average. So for me to have an expectation that I can encounter a man that's actually going to be as crazy as me, go do the stuff that I like to do, and understand my I'm okay, I don't have to do all of that. Understand that, I'm not gonna be hunting after you. Like, when I don't like talking on the phone. I don't, it's just I'm just totally different. I like being by myself. So, and then I don't mind if I like you and we think the same way, we can vibe, then heck yeah, let's spend time. And when we spend time together, we'll spend time together that is person centered. I don't like distant, like surface type of stuff. So I like to spend time talking to people, get to know, and then I could go off. I could be gone 3 months. I could be gone 3 months. Like I could go wherever, and I'm cool. I'm happy. And so I know that people are not. Everybody's not like that. Some men will be sitting up there thinking like, "Well, dang, she don't really care about me. She don't love. Like she go 3 months without seeing me. Man, I like myself. And if you're present, I'm going to enjoy you, right? But if you don't, I'm enjoying me. I'm gonna enjoy me. I'm gonna enjoy the Most High God. I don't have to have that validation. I do believe. So for me, it's not. I'm not going to go out naive with naivety, thinking that, oh man, okay, he tried to talk to me. Let us go forward. Like my first thought is like, dude, I'm crazy. You do not. Like I don't have to tell him that, but my first thought is you really don't know like who I am and what kind of stuff I do. So yeah, I mean it's cute that you think this, but beyond that, if you could prove to me that you could deal with me and you actually would like to be involved in the kind of stuff that I like to do, and I be involved in what you like to do, that to me, that's a friendship, and friendship come before anything to me. Friendship, that means friendship. That's without the screw, without, man, let's just vibe and see if we get along as friends together. So that's what I be thinking. I know we gonna wrap up. We've been on here for so long. We will have to do it again because there's so much knowledge and wisdom and questions.
I'm definitely down.
Me too. Me too. Definitely.
Yeah, I think y'all are amazing, and I appreciate. I didn't know I would learn so much tonight talking to you ladies, and I really appreciate it. And I think y'all perspectives help me take something back to the shop and to the brothers with me to try to help y'all get to where, hey, we got the brothers all the way in compliance. That y'all know y'all safe. We got some good brothers out here.
Well,
So
thank
You
you for
I
are
coming
appreciate
amazing
it,
on.
y'all.
also. I told T about you. I told Tierra, she's like, okay, so who is this? And I was like, okay, he ambitious, he, quick witted. Like it's just, Joe, you are a brand in yourself. You are a brand in yourself, and I don't know what your social media presence is like, but I know the way you talk. I know the way you communicate. I know, like, if I slide down and I come to the shop, you're giving wisdom, you giving knowledge, but you just you're a brand all by yourself. And so people on social media needs to know you and hear your voice because you do have a lot. You always have stuff to say. You always have stuff to say, and it's always thought provoking. And what I respect about you is if you talk, I know that you're not gonna lie. I know that you like, and that's the type of people I like to be around. You're gonna tell the truth about what you think, and so much so I was like, "Ooh, T, I don't know what this man gonna say." But I mean, I think you are. I know you are an amazing person, and I like the way you think. And I would like for your social media presence to be built up so that people will hear your voice, because I know you have something to say, and you've been saying it to your population. But I think people in other areas that don't encounter you there needs to hear your voice and hear what you have to say. So I'm done.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that.
And thank you for coming, Joe. It was nice talking to you. Nice, definitely nice hearing from a male perspective. What's your barbershop location again so the people can know?
Oh, it's 17106 South Park Avenue in South Holland, Illinois. Right across from Thornwood High School, right by the Mr. Submarine.
Okay.
It's
Sis,
Studio
it's on you.
52, and I do have to say this um, because I have sons. Joe don't play. When I tell you that man know how to cut, and I ain't hyping up nothing. No, he don't play. He knows how to cut some hair For real. If y'all, whoever you are, if you flying in out of town, this is who you want cutting your hair if you can get in. Because he don't play with his time either. He don't play with his time. Like he said, he up at 4 a.m. in the morning. This man got a schedule and he don't play with his time. But it's a reason why he operates in excellence. Even with what he does, it's an art for him. It is an art. I mean, I could
Thank
slide
you.
in there with one man and they gonna get space and room because that's Joe. But anybody else, you gonna have to make an appointment. But it's worth it for real. He's gonna have you right.
Thank you. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Well, we're gonna wrap up until next time. Love y'all. It was thank you for coming on, Joe. See, you already know this is what we always
Yes,
do.
ma'am.
All right, so we will talk. Bye. Y'all be peaceful. Have a good night.
You
All
too.
right,
Bye,
y'all
sis.
take
Bye,
care.
Joe.
Bye.